Hey guys, how you doing? Good? Bad? Well, I hope you're good. So, the FNAF collab that was announced last month was freaking awesome. Dead by Daylight X Five Nights at Freddy was something that I was praying for, and I'm so glad that it's what we got. We won. But I'm not going to be talking about that. Instead, I'm going to be talking about something that I heard be talked about before. What if there was a different FNAF collab? What if Springtrap was a guest fighter in Mortal Kombat? It was talked a lot about Springtrap was in Dead by Daylight, and now we have this come in. That's a possibility. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that if you look closely at the teaser and brighten it up a little bit, you can see the shape of Spring Bonnie's head in the clouds. So, possible confirmation that Springtrap's the killer? If so, then awesome. Springtrap is great for Dead by Daylight, and is also great for this game. So we're going to be going over in this video is his moveset, his fatalities, his brutalities, a few of his taunts, and who I think he could be in the Mortal Kombat 1 combat cast without any bias at all. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go over a quick rule. No phantom stuff, meaning that his weapon will not be an axe, it's going to be a knife, and 2, no mask lifting, because if I remember correctly, the Springtrap's mask isn't meant to be like a hoodie. It's meant to be like spring locked to his face. Now, let's go. As for which game that should be designed, that his design should be based off of, the FNAF 3 design, definitely. Just use it as a reference and make it as accurate as possible, and make sure the spring-locked human endoskeleton corpse is red. I understand that's a small thing, and the only bits of it that we'd see of it are the feet and the head, but for design accurate purposes, just make sure that that's as close as possible. His weapons, overall strength, and hunting knife. The moveset. Aside from some normal punches and kicks, the moves that are made for his character should be some knife slashes, stabs, charging at the opponent, extension of that by stabbing them in the leg or maybe the shoulder, squeezing their head, and bending bones the other way. His grab attack, grab by the neck, deliver 2 punches to the head, and then throw him. Sound cool? Cool. His taunt moves can be a knife wipe, his body twitching for a minute as if the spring locks are going off, grabbing his mask, not opening his mask, grabbing his mask, and a knife twirl. The Fatal Blow. Added by whatever cameo you have selected, Springtrap would charge his opponent, which would knock them to the ground. Then he would kick them in the head, making the X-ray show the opponent's skull being broken. Of course, it wouldn't kill him, because as long as they have enough health left, a fighter can recover from these. How could a real human being recover from any of these? Okay, there are a few exceptions where you'd be visiting the hospital at the very least, but most of these? Hell no, bro. The only place you'd be visiting is the morgue. Call Springtrap's Fatal Blow, couldn't leave it alone. Fatalities. Fatality 1 would be Springtrap stabbing them in the gut and then stabbing them in the eye, then leave the knife in as they fall, and then whenever they fall forward and the knife goes deeper into their face, he would crush their skull with his foot. It's simple, but it's brutal, which is why we'd call this one Brutal Murder. Fatality 2 would be Springtrap stabbing them once, and then putting them in a spring-lock suit. I hope you didn't think I was going to leave that out. After he puts the opponent in the spring-lock suit, he would then tear off part of the suit's stomach. The opponent falls backwards, twitching violently with no screaming as the suit leaks out their blood. This one, call it either Become One of Them or Spring-Lock Failure. I think that Spring-Lock Failure sounds better, but if you want to go with the other one, go for it. Brutalities. I don't know how many brutalities all the fighters have, but let's do 7 in this video. The classic. Uppercut knocking the head off, easy. Throat slit. After getting 2 knife slashes into a combo, Springtrap would then slash at his opponent's neck, letting them grab it and then bleed out. Spill out. After doing a combo stabbing his opponent, Springtrap will then stab his opponent in the stomach and chest 8 times. Then he will let their guts spill out. Neck snap. Grab the opponent by their neck and squeeze until they stop breathing, then he would snap their neck. Knife drop. After charging at an opponent and doing the extension, Springtrap will bring the knife down and cut their leg open. Then he'll stand back up and drop the knife into their face. Limb from limb. After bending a limb backwards, Springtrap will kick his opponent in the back, breaking their back in half. He would then drop the top half of their body. Throw brutality. Throws his opponent at the screen, cracks it, technically breaks the 4th wall. Done. Now, let's have some fun with who I think could realistically beat Springtrap in the Mortal Kombat 1 Combat Cast. Keep in mind, this is just what I think. Kitana. Maybe. Those fans could be very effective. Melina. Yes, she's trained more than Kitana and has Tarkat. Tanya. Unfortunately, no. That staff against Springtrap wouldn't do much. Rain. If he can keep the water staff, then maybe, but if he took it and snapped it, that thing Zafira would be as good as dead. Shang Tsung. If we're talking in the previous timeline, I think possibly, yeah. But in this timeline, no. I feel like even with potions and shapeshifting, Springtrap would still be able to tear Shang Tsung's head off. General Shao. Yes, it would be a very entertaining fight, but Shao would still take the win. Sindel. No. I don't think her just being able to shriek really loudly, along with that hair, would do a whole lot. Reiko. No. He's trained by General Shao, but that doesn't mean that he'll win. Smoke. No. Smoke being able to smoke dash, I don't think would be able to physically do anything to Springtrap. Scorpion. Yes. Fire. End of story. Reptile. Maybe. At least maybe in reptile form. But in human form, I can't see Syzoth walking away. Or crawling away. Sub-Zero. I think no. Bihan could freeze Springtrap, but if he can get to him first, then I think Sub-Zero would just be pissing bloody icicles. Li Mei. I had trouble deciding this, but I think no. Those purple firework-like powers that I still don't fully understand probably wouldn't kill Springtrap that easy. Raiden. Maybe. Because the lightning amulet is Raiden's key to victory, I think if Springtrap were to destroy it, then no. But if Raiden keeps it, then yeah, he might win. But if it was Thunder God Raiden, it's a very different story. Liu Kang. Yes. Fire God. Johnny Cage. No. End of story. Kung Lao. No. Nice Hat may be able to take off his jaw, but wouldn't realistically kill him. Kenshi. I once thought probably, unless he lost Sento for some reason. And to add, I don't think Sento would be able to suck William's soul out that suit. So I think there's a good chance it's no. Baraka. Yes. Tarkatan. And apparently he was attributing the Daybreak Legion. So with those put together, I think he could best Springtrap. Geras. Yes. Ashra. Former demon of the Netherrealm, and with her Chris, I think she could take him down. Nitara. I don't think she could do a whole lot. Havoc. He might be able to wear Havoc down, so we're putting this as a maybe because Havoc can't actually die. Quan Chi. Using that mind control spell, I think he could get Springtrap to rip his own head off. The tentacles and everything else, probably no. Springtrap would kill Quan Chi. Ermac. The Collection of Souls make a great opponent against Springtrap. And I would have said maybe he'd win, but Ermac can still burst people's arms apart and do this, so I think he could do it. Takeda. I'm gonna say no. Cyrax and Sector. Even if Cyrax and Sector's suits have similar abilities to their past game counterparts, I still don't know if they'd win. And the fact that they're humans with armor kind of puts it more in Springtrap's favor, if you ask me. Noob Saibot. I can say Noob Saibot would beat him. While Bihan and Sub-Zero wouldn't, I think him as Noob Saibot could figure out how to best Springtrap. So, yeah. Omni-Man. Yes, end of story. Peacemaker. No. Just remove the helmet and Springtrap can tear its throat out. Homelander. Homelander is very immature and very entitled. Now, knowing Springtrap, he could use that immaturity to lure Homelander in and then kill him. Then, if he can't, then Homelander would kill Springtrap. So, I'm thinking maybe. Ghostface. No. T-1000. See, I can't really give a fair answer to this because I haven't watched Terminator. But I did some research, and apparently T-800 beat T-1000 by shooting him to pieces. If that's all it took, I think Springtrap could still survive, but it would probably be close. Conan the Barbarian. Same thing. I don't really know a whole lot about Conan. Once again, I did a little bit of research, and also looked up if he could beat other horror villains. And after doing a little bit of research, I think that I would assume if Conan can't kill Springtrap, he'd at least incapacitate him. So I'm gonna have to say yes, Conan could beat Springtrap. So we have a total of 11 yes, 7 maybe, and 16 no. But if I was going based on bias, I would say only 6 people would make it and everyone else dies. As for intro dialogues, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't do the intro dialogues because I thought of a few, but I couldn't think of enough for every single character. So, no, I'm not gonna do intro dialogues in this video. I might still do something similar to it in the future though, like in a future video maybe. I don't know. Now let's go ahead and ask the winning question. Do I think this could actually happen? Well, my answer to that is maybe, but ever so slightly leaning to no. And the reason why is because when it comes to Scott's rules, if Five Nights at Freddy's gonna be collab with something, it needs to stay Five Nights at Freddy's. Meaning it needs to stay scary. There's some other horror characters in the NetherRealm games, so. And also, Mortal Kombat 1 that does have some horror to it, especially in Baraka's chapter in Shang Tsung's lab.
When did we take the left turn into survival horror?
But the part that really makes me think is the blood. When it comes to FNAF, outside of 8-bit minigames, blood has only been seen about 4 times. Whenever you get game over in FNAF 4, in the Cannon ending sister location, there's some blood that's on a door in a ruin, and there's a little bit of blood in the FNAF movie. So in the horror situation, I think it's all good, but with the blood situation, depends on what Scott thinks. But with all that said, I'm Super Monster Fredbear, and I need some water. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Happy 1 year to Mortal Kombat 1. Can't wait for Khaos Reigns. And I'll see you on the flip side.